Hello, we are live
Good evening,
on
football family.
FTB Sports. Hello, Stony.
Good evening, Pato, and the rest of the football community. How are you?
I am fine, and good evening, everybody at home, and welcome to FTB Sport, the Liverpool v Leicester post-reaction show. Hope you're all having a happy Valentine's evening. How was yours, Stony?
Relaxing, relaxing in preparation for this evening's show. That was my priority, really.
Was it better than yesterday's farce, shall we say?
Yes, yes. Much better than yesterday's
Absolute
farce.
farce. So should we get straight into it then?
Yeah, please do.
Or should we just, well, for also, can we apologise that we haven't got our host tonight, our Stitches? But I'm sure he'll be back with us soon. He's a very, very busy guy. Very busy guy.
Definitely.
So should we get stuck into it, or would you like to go through the teams?
Just get stuck straight into it, I think.
Come on then, let's get stuck into it.
So yesterday's result. Did you actually see that result coming, Pato?
Well, didn't we both say? Well, we all said it was going to be exciting, which I think if that didn't get your heart going, what else would? Do you know what I'm disappointed about? To be honest, we didn't really do anything wrong. We played some really good football.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the game, and it felt like we were back to normal ways. I just wish we'd have maybe got a few more goals. When we got the chances, the first half, we were creating chances, we were passing well. I thought Trent was getting some lovely long balls. I thought he was VVD, never mind TAA. I thought he was VVD. He was really, I thought he really played well.
Yeah.
So I thought, because of what happened regarding VAR and the mistakes and the referee, who, by the way, is from Manchester, we were unlucky. I really think we were unlucky, to be honest.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you're right. I think even the first half, I think on the preview show, I think my own comments was that I was hoping that it was going to be open game. It's the way that Brendan Rodgers plays with Leicester. They're a lovely offensive team. They're a team that, through the manager, are able to adapt to whatever systems that he wants them to, whether it's at the beginning of the game or even changing through. I think they started off in a 4-2-3-1, but in the previous game when they played against Brighton, they actually played, I think it was a 3-4-3 or a 3-4-1-2. So they're a team that can actually adapt. So we knew it was going to be open game. We knew that they would have creative players. I just did not see that result coming. I didn't, especially after the first half. Didn't see
but what's
it. The first,
as you've just said, though, Stoney, he played the 4-3. What we expected, the 4-2, the 4-2-3-1. But the game changer was at 75 minutes. 75 minutes. He took all Brighton off, brought on Perez.
Yeah.
Changed into a sort of a diamond shape. Yeah. Wasn't so long after. And then a minute later, we brought Curtis Jones, who, by the way, I thought played
had a good game.
Well, had a great game.
Have a good game.
Yeah. Maybe he came off because of the yellow card. But so we take him off, and then all hell broke loose. Then it was the equaliser. Then it did seem to go. Or I think all hell broke loose. Then that was the game changer. The minute that diamond shape came with that goal, which isn't a goal, we were robbed.
It's a crazy one, but do you know? I think in terms of even when Leicester got that first goal, I think we've played many games where we've conceded, but it's the manner in which we've actually reacted afterwards, and it almost seemed to be a delay in our reaction to the first goal. But then Leicester got that first goal, and they just completely came at us afterwards. I mean, as much as it really, really, really hurts me to say it, Barnes's goal was very nice, and so was Maddison's as well. I mean, Vardy got his goal. We can probably touch on that, how he managed to finish that off. Another rash moment by Alisson, unfortunately. And you're right. Within those, what was it, 6-7 minutes? The game is just completely changed on its head. And
78 minutes. 78 minutes was the goal, and 12 minutes. We had 12 minutes to go.
Yeah,
we could have sat back on that 1-0 lead, and we'd have got the 3 points easily.
Yeah,
it seemed a game we were just going to cruise to the finish line and get those 3 points.
Just didn't happen, and I think that was a strange one, because it wasn't. The last few results obviously haven't gone our way, but yesterday, that had absolutely nothing to do with the coaching. That had nothing to do with the managers. Those were just errors by our own players, and we got punished. We got absolutely punished for those errors yesterday.
And also the 3 guys that I did say about, for me, Fabinho didn't train, and also when I said about Thiago and also Gini.
Yeah.
So Fabinho didn't play, Thiago didn't start, and Ronaldo was taken off. So there was some element in what was going on. I've also heard rumours there was a Barney in the dressing room yesterday. Have you?
No, absolutely nothing. Absolutely no. I mean, that can work. That can work. Hopefully, that can work as a positive. If we just mentioned, if there was a Barney, it may be that all of the players are frustrated in terms of how we're performing. It may be that we need to up our game. As you said, we don't know what the nature of it. Sometimes when players get everything off their chest, we have a positive reaction. And hopefully that positive reaction comes against our next game against RB Leipzig. But you're right. It was just, after the first half, I was calm. I was confident going into the second half. But I was in disbelief. I'll be honest. The goals went in, and I absolutely did not know how to react. Didn't, and that's the first time it's happened in a very long period of time. I actually didn't know how to react. Didn't know how to comment, and you're watching it, and the game's just completely drifted away from us. Completely drifted away.
What did you think of Kabak? Did you? See how would you rate him, and how do you think he dealt with the incident with Alisson? Do you think he didn't? I don't think he was that wrong, but what do you think?
Yeah, I think that he had a nice steady debut. I think it was probably nice that you had our captain playing alongside him at centre back. But I think he had a steady debut. He didn't overcomplicate anything. The positions that he was in, he was safe. He didn't seem like he wasn't match fit. So I think comfortable debut. And as you said, the goal that stemmed from, I'm just going to call it a mix-up between himself and Alisson. Kabak wasn't to blame. So I think in terms of a debut, it was steady, probably for his own self as a defender. He wouldn't have wished to have conceded 3 goals. And we're not saying it was his fault. We're just saying collectively as a team. But I think he had a steady debut. So as I said, it's the first game, and we'll see how he actually progresses from there. But yeah, no issues at all. None.
Regarding the VAR incident, we had an incident with Mane where he was fouled.
Yeah, I don't know.
Evans had his 2 hands in his back, was it, when they were on the line?
Yeah.
But it didn't pick that up. It didn't tell Mr. Taylor to go and have a look at that, though, did it?
Nah, but you're right. I mean, even those were the things that I wasn't focused on as an individual in the game, because, as you said, sometimes incidents is happening, but we've shown we've reacted. So as an example, even if that was to happen in the first or 2 minutes of a game, our team have actually been strong enough to actually positively react from that. So I probably didn't take too much out of that little incident there. I think I just said, look, it's just one of those things. Let's crack on and let's get on with the game. As I said, I just didn't see that result coming, Pato. I really, really, really didn't. So yeah, I don't know.
Also, have you noticed that's twice now? Also, last week when Curtis Jones came off, isn't that when we run into trouble with Man City? And again, when Curtis Jones has gone off, that's when the goals we got 3 goals against us.
Yeah, I think two different type
in that.
Possibly two different type games. I mean, what I will say, and just focusing on Curtis Jones, yesterday was probably the first game that I've actually. I don't have they have those what they call it, those 1-to-1 cams where you can, just focus on one player. But I did focus quite a lot on him yesterday. He's a tidy player. You can see that. I like that he's comfortable in any space with the ball. So even yesterday, there was a few areas where he received the ball facing our goal and he had 2 players on him, and he was comfortable actually, turning, reversing direction towards Leicester and actually moving forward with the ball, even though he actually had 2 or 3 actual players on him. And that's a player playing with confidence. So the more game time he gets, the more we can see the positivity that he brings towards the team. We can see we can see what he actually offers. But I like him. Should he be playing first team or starter at the moment? We have no choice, because obviously, we have a few different players out, but he does actually offer us something more as well. So I don't mind him playing. But I think he had a good game yesterday. I do.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
he did. But also again, we're still having to put Hendo in the back. We still can't use his talents.
Yeah, I know.
Still
and I
have
think that's probably gonna
them again, aren't we?
Yeah, that's probably going to continue for the next few games. But there was a few positives from Hendo still playing at the centre back. So when he plays on the left hand side of our central defence. But what he's been able to do, and I'm not comparing these 2 players, okay? But what he's been able to do is something similar when Van Dijk was playing. Van Dijk has actually got that ability to actually spray that long field pass from the centre back position out to either of our either whether it was to Mane or Salah. And Henderson was able to actually do that yesterday quite a lot. I mean, his passing range is good anyway. So that was never ever going to be a problem. And you can see he's actually got the confidence to do that. I cannot see any of our other players, defensive players, actually coming back for now. So I reckon Henderson will continue being. I could be completely wrong. We don't know. It could be Davies and Kovac playing as a centre back for RB Leipzig, and Henderson coming back into the midfield. We're not too sure. But Henderson had a good game yesterday.
Tomorrow, who will be discussing with Leipzig. But I can see we've got a message off Mr. B. Hello, Mr. B. Okay. He's saying, do you think top 4 will be a problem now?
Wow. You know what? That's actually a very, 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 very good question. Okay. And I'm going to be honest. So what are we doing? We're sitting on 24 games and we're on 40 points. All right. So Chelsea have played 23 games and they are on 39 points. West Ham are on 23 games. They're on 39 points. Everton are on 22 games. They're on 38 points. And Villa have played 22 games and are on 36 points. So if we're looking how the games can actually change within the next 2 game weeks, we could end up being sitting in 8th within the next 2 game weeks. So that's an actual quite realistic scenario that we can actually find ourselves in. But just to answer Mr. B's question about if you think being in the top 4 will be a problem now, that's food for thought, because Man City, they're obviously showing that, and they've actually done it in a quiet way, actually, Man City. So that's obviously credit to them. The way they're actually playing defensive is really good. They're playing without Aguero and De Bruyne, and they're still up there leading the top. So we've got Man City playing well. For some unknown reason, Man United are second. I won't comment on that. And then Leicester are still in the fold. So yeah, we have to be careful. We can still manage in the top four. So if you're asking me, I'm always optimistic. I don't think it's going to be a problem us being in the top four. But as I said, within the next two game weeks, we can find ourselves sitting in the 8th position. But bearing in mind, we're still only in February, going into March, and the table and the games and the fixtures have actually shown that anything can actually change.
Yeah, we see, Mr. B. We are going to be getting a few of our players back hopefully soon. We're going to be getting Keita back apparently before Jota will come back. So there's 2 key players that could be coming back. We're going to be surely playing Ben Davies soon. Got to be playing Davies. You've got to give him a chance. And also poor Nat Phillips. Never got picked again. You know, when we've still got him. Did you notice also, I mean, regarding 4th, I do think it is going to be a struggle, but it's going to be a struggle for, as you said, Stoney, the top 8.
Yeah, definitely.
Up for grabs. And bearing in mind, you've still got Man City, Man United, Everton, Leicester are still in FA Cup. Am I correct?
Anything's going to change.
League.
Yeah.
Man City.
That's correct. Yeah, Man City are still in there.
Congested. They're going to run into injuries and problems, and you know, so anything can still happen. I'm still quite confident about 4th, but yeah, of course we've got to worry. But so have all the other teams. All the other teams.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's just another comment that's come through. If Pato, if it's okay, if I just read it out. It's a really good comment from Pipe 71. We appreciate that. Thank you, Pipes. Do you think Henderson needs to be put back into midfield and bleed one of your new centre backs? Is it okay if I just respond to Pipes for this?
Yeah, of course. But we have just answered that.
Yeah, we have, and that's a really good question as well, Pipe. So hopefully you would have heard Pato mention it earlier in the show, but I'll just extend on what she was saying. In terms of Henderson, would love him to actually come back in the middle of the park. The only thing at the moment is obviously Kovac would have played his first full game yesterday. I think we have to be quite mindful of if it's Kovac's first game, we want him to settle in. But then are we going to also put in Davies straight away with Kovac to try and get that partnership working straight away? We never ever know. I think personally, if we can have Henderson and Kovac play together in the European game and then play against Everton, which is our next league game after that, and then anything after that, then we'd see. But yeah, definitely just to answer your question, we love Henderson to be back in midfield, but at the moment, we just have to take our time. Hopefully after the Everton game, we'll see him there, and we'll have Kovac and maybe Davies playing together as a central pairing after that game.
Yeah, as I've said, I did answer that earlier. I've been saying exactly the same. I can't wait for Hendo to get back into the midfield where he belongs. Also, I did notice we had another young little Leighton Clarkson on the bench.
Okay.
He would have played alongside Curtis Jones. He's an up-and-coming midfielder. Also, because I think this is where I don't know. See, I'm still a believer about FSG. I think it's time we need to put the hands out of the pocket now. They need to be investing a little bit more. I hope this is a big eye opener. It really is that they need to step up to the mark now and invest in the summer, even if we have to sell some players.
Well, do you know what?
Touched on it the day, wasn't it? And you said about the ages We looked at the ages of quite a lot of our players.
And we're saying it all around 28, 29. So, and you know what? It's something that we mentioned on a previous show, and it's something that Pipe 71 has actually mentioned on one of our previous shows as well. I mean, he's a Spurs supporter, got extreme wealth of knowledge, not just from Spurs, but throughout the Premiership as well. And it's something that he's actually mentioned as well in terms of how we see Liverpool and our owners, and how we're investing short term or actually long term as well. And some of the comments that he's mentioned previously, and they've all been valid. So going back to what you were saying as well, Pato, it may actually be interesting because maybe we do already have targets for the summer, all right? And maybe those targets may have been in place before Virgil got injured, before Gomez got injured, before Jota got injured. Maybe we did already have some targets. And just as an individual, I believe those targets were already in place. And hopefully we'll actually see those targets actually join our club in the summer. Whether that now changes to do with the current climate with all clubs and us making adjustments to our finances, that may be something completely different. It may be some of our players that are out on loan actually come back, and that they now start forming part of the squad moving forward for the next season. So you're right.
Harvey Elliott's come back, isn't he?
Harvey Elliott's definitely due, but I still do believe that we had a long-term target for a centre back. And I do believe that we'll have whoever that target is at the end of the season. So I know we've got Davies, we've got Kabak, but I still believe that we had a centre-back target anyway. So I do believe that will come in. Do we need an additional midfielder? I think it will be quite interesting because, as you said, Shaqiri's been playing sometimes in the middle of the park. We still don't know what's happened with Naby Keita's fitness. Ox is still trying to come back. And as you said, if we get the defensive partnerships back or the defenders back, Henderson comes back in the midfield, Gigi's there, Thiago's there, Fabiano's there. And then before you know it, we've probably got about 7 or 8 midfielders. So it will be interesting. And as you said, in terms of the offensive line, Jota will be playing up there. So, I'm not too sure.
Well, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to share. And also we will be giving away a football shirt of your choice, of your team, when we get that 500th subscriber. So let it be you. Come on, get subscribed and get like and share. Twitter, Facebook, all your normal social medias. And also we're talking about as well having, because we like all our fans to get involved as much as they can. So we'd like to be inviting some guests, inviting some fans onto the show, have a good little talk. If there's any questions, so get asking, get subscribing. Let us know if you're interested. If you want to come on as Pato's posse, you can be one of my posse. You're one of my posse, but get subscribing, hit that like button, and let's see what other questions we've got. What's this? Pipes as well. Do you say you know Pipes?
Pardon me. Yeah, he's an excellent Spurs fan.
What's he saying? If
Bayern Munich come in for Salah,
yeah, but crazy money, you should bite their hands off and invest in the rest of the squad with quality. And what's this? Should have got the defenders first to Jan, not first to Feb. Who's that? Shen Hardy.
So if we can just answer these questions slowly then, and Shen Hardy, we're definitely going to come in and respond to your comment. Wonderful comment as well. So just going back to what Pipes was saying in terms of Salah, I know my Stitches, myself and yourself, we were provided with the ages of some of our players, and we were seeing that they're about 28, 29. And for a lot of the players, that's in their prime. And I think if anybody's actually honest, there's a lot of our players that are really in their prime. All right. So this is just an individual thing, just to respond to what Pipes was saying about the crazy money for Salah. Do I want Salah to leave our club? The answer is no, absolutely not. I do not wish Salah to go anywhere. Okay, he's been an absolutely wonderful servant for us. I mean, his goals, his performances, his ability, I mean, just second to none. Absolutely breathtaking player. However, as an individual,
top goal scorer,
and exactly top goal scorer. However, what I'm not is disillusioned with how football actually works. All right, so Salah is actually an employee of Liverpool. Okay, and like in any other industry in life, at some period of time, that employee has to move on. All right. So if Salah or his team decides that there's a new project elsewhere, I'm confident that he will go in with Liverpool's blessings, and he will go with the blessings of all of our fans and all of our supporters. I'm also confident as a club, if he does move on, whether it's this season or next season or the season afterwards, we will get a nice amount of money for him. Okay. So I don't wish for him to go, but if he does go, I'm realistic to say I do believe with a lot of our players and our fans that he'll go with our blessing, and we'll get a nice amount of money to invest or reinvest in our club. But what are your thoughts on that, Pato?
I couldn't agree more. Absolutely love Mo. But as you said, if the price is right, someone can come in and who's better or just as good. Isn't Salah actually? Was he 30? Actually, now how old Salah? 28.
He's 20, 28. Yeah, 28. Yeah, 28. Yeah.
Endo's 30. Ronaldo's 30. Milner's 34. So no, but it wouldn't be Salah. I think we'd be looking to get rid of or sell. But a good question. If the price is right,
exactly. It happens. These things happen. And as you said, we don't want any of our players to go, but there's always different projects. All the time, there's always different projects. So we have to be realistic as a club. We've functioned well with our current owners. We function well with our current manager. And as you said, those players will go with our blessing. Look, think of it. We did not. I would say the majority of our fans probably wouldn't have wanted Coutinho to actually have gone. But look at the money that we managed to receive from Coutinho, and look at the manner in which that we reinvested that money back into our club. So I believe it will be the same scenario with Salah. So, we just have to be realistic there. We've got another comment from somebody called Guna Raja. And I think he was saying that he also agrees with Pipe 71. Think you should play Henderson and Fabs in midfield. Give the defenders a chance. They need to grow. They will make mistakes, but they will all come good. You're suffering in midfield. And I can only agree with you as well, Guna Ranger. I think it's the same thing that we've mentioned on previous shows as well. We're aware that we require our correct players in the correct positions, but unfortunately, we're unable to do that. This is not going to be a show where we're going to be focusing on the injuries and the players that we have not got available, because I think it's clearly obvious. I think just to respond to you, I'm confident that when all of our players do return, they'll be able to return to their favoured positions. And then I think that other people and other clubs and other pundits can then judge us. But at the moment, our players aren't able to play in the correct positions, and we're functioning. So, but in terms of also about the new defenders, in terms of them being able to make mistakes, I'd prefer that happens in training, because I think it's also too easy as well for other people. When you have a new signing, if they do make an error, we don't want people jumping on their back. This is all part of players coming in, whether it's at Liverpool, whether it's at Arsenal, whether it's at Tottenham, Man United, Man City, Leicester, whatever team. Players are going to make errors, but we want them to be able to be settled into our club, make them understand how we play and how we function, and then we take it from there. But
on the back in the dressing room.
Thank you. Yeah, but I'll say it as somebody who absolutely loves my club, that I definitely will not be jumping on the bandwagon. I will definitely not be pointing any fingers if we do have any of our players and they're making errors or mistakes. it's just part of development. Those things would actually happen. So for now, I just wanted to train, get settled into how we are as a club. They know that they're going to have love, they're going to have blessing, they're going to have the right training, and we'll see how they develop. So it's fine. It's definitely fine.
Our boys stepped up to the mark yesterday and done a terrific job. Again with Hendo in defence when he shouldn't be there. And basically, we should have won that game and had it wrapped up. We played some great football yesterday. I was really pleased with our boys. Yeah. It felt like the mentality and the physique and the technique was all there yesterday. It was unfortunate. Just unfortunate regarding the VAR, regarding getting the referee from Manchester. Just all unfortunate. We did a good job yesterday. We really did.
And we started off well as well. Even I thought what was actually quite interesting is I think about the first. We actually started off quite fast as well, actually, which
we did.
I did actually like.
I thought Trent, because he done well on Barnes, didn't he?
And he's a good player, Barnes, as well.
And he done really good. And he kept up to Barnes' pace. He'd actually brought out the best of Trent. That's why I thought he was like Virgil. I haven't seen Trent play that good in a long time. Barnes brought out
the best in him. And you know what?
So that's a good sign, because if he can do that with Barnes, he can do that with any forward then. The better the forward, the better the play, because that's what Virgil does. Virgil loves that challenge of who do you think you are? How fast do you think you are? How good do you think you are? How quick do you think you can get that ball past me? Or watch this. I'm going to make it hard for you. He presses them, he pushes them. And Trent's learning, and I like it. And we've got a new kid to be signed as well, Dominic Corness.
Okay.
One to be watching out for too. Another good one. He's learning too, and a Scouser. So these people we're going to be looking out to. We're actually getting a bit close to the end of our time. Actually, it's been a really good show and I've enjoyed it. Consider it's been my first time hosting. I must say thank you and to all our viewers out there. And I have to say hello to Leslie, who I work with. She's a nurse. She's got twin boys, Louis and Freddie, who go to the match. They all go to the match. They're missing the match very much. They absolutely are missing it. But hi, guys. They're age 9. Be interesting for these 9-year-olds to ask a question also. So, Louis, Freddie, ask us a question or make a comment. What do you think? What do you think we should do with our boys, or how do we help our boys? Come on, kids. Let's hear your answers. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that button.
We just got a little question here, and it's just based on the defensive concerns that have been happening at Liverpool. So this is from Shen. I do apologize if I pronounce your surname incorrectly, okay? So I've got Shen Haraji. Should have got defenders 1st of Jan, not 1st of Feb. I think the only thing that I can say is hindsight's a wonderful thing. So, it's one of those things as well. For it may have been something that we were already focused in looking at Davies and Kovac. And as you said, I'm not part of Liverpool. I don't work for them. But I think one thing we should all be aware that any of these contracts do actually take time. So maybe they were actually looking at those players in at the 1st of Jan, and it just took a little while for all of the contracts to be signed, and both clubs to actually be comfortable and players to be comfortable with those the contracts that were actually signed in the end. So maybe we were actually looking at them in January. But even if it was between January and 1st of Feb, I think the main thing is that we've managed to bring in 2 new defenders in the club. And hopefully they'll be able to perform and play at the standard that we all expect them to in our club. So that's just responding to you, Shen. But thanks. Excellent question.
Yeah, and I'd just like to finish off and say, there's been absolutely brilliant questions there. Keep it coming. Keep subscribing and hit the like button. We're going to be back tomorrow. Is it 8 o'clock? Are we scheduled for, Stoney?
8 o'clock tomorrow.
8 o'clock for the Leipzig game. So we'll get involved. Get the questions in, of course. Get those questions in. And don't forget about, we're going to be getting some people to appear. It won't be tomorrow, but it'll be coming up soon. So keep your eyes peeled about that. And I think we should end it there. What do you think, Stoney?
I'm just going to answer one more question, then I think we can wrap it up. Okay. Is Zacharias Forbes, where's Stitches? Stitches is here in spirit. He's got a prior engagement, so he does apologize for not being able to be on the show. But as I said, look, we've got a wonderful host in Pato, so that's perfect. But hopefully Stitches will be back with us tomorrow for our preview show of our Champions League game. So your question was, Zacharias' question was, do you believe you can get back to 90 plus points a season form? I'm always optimistic, so the answer is yes. We've actually shown as a club over the last few seasons, and it's not just coming from me, the stats are out there, so everybody can go out to do their own research. We've shown that we're growing as a club. We've shown that we had a wonderful points tally last season and the season before that, so it's showing that we're actually growing. Whether we meet the 90 points or not, it still doesn't mean that we're not moving in the correct direction. So just to respond to your question, I'd love us to get 90 points plus, but even if we don't, I'm sure there's still going to be a lot of positives from this season.
Oh, does he mean this season?
Yeah, for this season. Because what are we on at the moment? We are currently on 40 points at the moment, Zacharias, and we're on, 24 games? So anything's possible.
Do you believe you can ever get back to 90 plus points a season 4?
I think so.
In the future?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Definitely.
Not a problem.
Definitely. But so yeah, so that was my response anyway. So yeah.
Great question. Right, guys, I think that sums it up because we've got to be out for the next show. Who's coming up on the next one? Doesn't matter. All that matters. Watch us tomorrow night. So we see you at 8.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. I've been Pato, and you've been
Stoney Browder Jr.
And we are FTB Sports. Good night and God bless, and thank you for watching.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye. And we're out.